Hey, everybody. I hope you are having a great weekend as this drops or whenever you are listening to it. Making some changes to the studio, forgive the backdrop, moving straight on. This is part 2 of the Keto Reset series. There's a part 1 before. You're going to want to check out where it talks about good versus great. Okay? Don't get stuck because you've made progress, but you still have so much to go. You're lazy about it. And also, don't beat yourself up when you're having actual milestone victories and you're just not where you want to be yet. Okay, there's a balance. So check out that video. But moving on. So the next thing and the last thing before you do a reset is what you need to do to go back to basics or move forward to a better strategy. And it's not always obvious. So, for example, if you're on square one and you've never gotten off square one and you feel like you're always looping back to the beginning, get back to basics. Because I assure you, you're not doing keto the way it's really supposed to be. I guarantee you're not the one human being on earth unless you have a very rare hormonal condition, and you're probably already aware of it if you are and on medication for it. But 99.9% of the earth is just a standard issue humanoid, and we react to certain inputs, okay? Just like an iPhone. If you got an iPhone, it doesn't matter what iPhone it is. You go to the settings, you change this to that, it works. Well, we're kind of iPhones in a way. Excuse me. We come from the factory with certain settings. You do certain inputs, certain results occur. Okay. And so you may need to go back to the beginning. And I have so many videos. They don't have the same production and everything. And not that this is great production, but you know what I mean. They're kind of raw, but you can go back to the beginning of my journey and how to start on keto, how to keep it simple. Okay, keto is not a product. Keto is not a doctor named Dr. Keto. Okay, keto is a style of eating. Okay, just like flamenco is a type of guitar and stained glass is a type of window. Okay, it's just a style. So do not purchase products and think you're on keto. Get out of a diet mentality. You're going to have to go back to the beginning and get very simple. And just stick with safe foods work from your current diet until you can slowly expand your diet. Nothing with a label, okay? Breakfast should be something like steak and eggs and sausage and cheese. Lunch should be something like a steak salad or maybe a hamburger without a bun and without ketchup. Just keep it super simple. Dinner, steak again, piece of salmon again, whatever fills you up. Snacks, maybe some dried meat, some salami, and just read the label for sugar. Some cheese, a hard-boiled egg, some chicharron or dried pig skin, if that means more to you. Maybe some cheese crisps that you can find at a specialty store. Just keep it super simple. And then research. And then research and expand. Research and expand. Oh, wow, I really miss potatoes. Well, try cream broccoli. Try cauliflower grits, chopped up cauliflower with all the butter you'd ever want, and yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay? There's videos on that. That's going back to basics. Okay? The other thing you may need to do, however, is to move forward. Okay? I found that I have to move forward. And my doctor, who is not necessarily a keto fan, but he's also not a keto hater. He's an agnostic. He's an actual scientist. He actually enjoys results and working back to what creates those results. So he knows I'm on keto, but that doesn't concern him. What concerns him is that I'm moving forward when my labs are better, my weight is better, and my goal is to get off, any need for any medication. So that's what's going on. So he said once, Brian, when you're an F student, it's really easy to know what to do to become a C student. Okay. I mean, put in any effort at all, and you should shoot right up to being a C student. Once you're a C student, you're trying to go to a B student. You might have to tighten the screws a little bit. Well, once you're a B student trying to become an A student, or an A student trying to become an A plus honors student, okay, that's different. That is not returning to basics. The basics got you from F to C. Okay. And those are really motivating. You know, someone's first 50 pounds losing keto. That's huge. Okay. But once you hit that, or 20 pounds, or whatever it is, you know, not everyone has the same amount to lose. But once you've achieved that, and now you want to go to the next level, you can't necessarily do what you did. Okay. A recent quote I heard from a carnivore inspiration of mine, Dr. Anthony Chaffee, and I'm going to have a different video on all the doctors of keto I listen to, and I think it's going to be very valuable to kind of see what goes into the brain that is producing the comments I'm making. But he said the last 5% made 95% of the difference. Now, he was specifically referring to carnivore, but I think that's a true assessment for the whole journey of everyone. That last 5% makes 95% of the difference. Okay. We're trying to train your body to behave differently, to respond to different things. We're detoxing off terrible things. And, you know, do we need to go back to basics, or do we need to move forward? Okay. I have found, and that's why there's only going to be a 2-part to this reset, because after this, I'm going to be moving on to explaining how I'm doing what I'm doing now. Okay. All my old videos are how I started from 0 to keto and got to where I was. Now I'm moving on, and I can't do what I used to do. Maybe you need to get really tight on your carbs. Maybe you need to let go of some dairy because it's not necessarily full of carbs. It's just full of enzymes that make it yummy. And there's a great interview that will be part of my doctor series of who these doctors are that talk about enzymes that are in milk and dairy products, specifically to make babies want them. They want to associate, nature wants to associate nutrition with pleasure. Well, as adults, we still have that reaction. So, for example, for me, cheese, it didn't throw me off. It didn't give me a headache. It didn't swell me. It didn't send me back weight-wise, but it was so yummy, I would eat 10 times what I was really full. You know, I just, so I had to let it go. Eggs, they're still awesome, and I'll throw them in somewhere. But the problem with eggs is I'd throw all this cheese on it, and before you know it, I had this whole thing that I wasn't even trying to do. So I had to let go of eggs for a while. Because you know what I don't overeat? Meat in general, and specifically beef. Even within meat, I can eat more pork and chicken than I can beef. I can eat more bacon than I can beef. It's like you just keep getting simpler and simpler and simpler and simpler. And honestly, I was keto, and then I kind of became ketovore, like meat-heavy keto. I'm at the point now, I'm carnivore on the border of the lion diet. And, I know the lion diet's a little bit of a brand name because I know a particular person has their website for that. But it's really just saying, what predators in the wild eat. It's basically meat, without the benefit of cooking it. I will cook it. But, basically my diet right now is meat, salt, black coffee, and butter. And when I made that switch, because I had gotten to where I can go on keto, and I was just hanging out. I made that switch. I lost 10 pounds like that. And now I'm breaching into new territory. And so that's what all my new videos are going to be about, is that journey. This is the turnaround 2 videos. This is the turnaround. This is letting go of where we've been and moving on. So in the future, if you need keto advice, that's going to have to come from private messages to me, or maybe even a coaching arrangement we figure out, or the old videos where I've covered it all. Back when it was fresh in my mind, back when I was the best me on that part of the journey, it's all recorded, it's all there. Moving on, I'm kind of going 2.0. How do we go that last step? Good versus great. How do we get to great if we're stuck in good? Okay. And something that's going to unlock all of it, I'll throw this tip in as a bonus, is you have to see yourself as addicted. You just simply have to. Again, in my Doctors I Trust and Listen to video, I'm gonna mention this and call out some great resources. But basically, if you change the paradigm from diet to addiction, everything makes sense. Everything. You don't have a cheat day, you relapse. And once you've really and truly detoxed, your body won't let you relapse. People tell me all the time, can you have a cheat day? I'm like, brother, you can try. Anytime I have anything I'm not supposed to, instantly gain weight. I've gained weight 5 pounds overnight. It's just fluid retention. It's not fat. Massive inflammation. Okay. I'll I don't want to gross you out, but I could show you how big my knee swelled up when I went to a childhood restaurant I hadn't been to in 20 years, and I had the piece of pie I used to have as a kid. All the sugar in it. Wham. Wham. Maybe I will post a picture. Well, if I do, it'll be in about 5 seconds, so if you're gross, look away. But it's a very swollen knee. And that happened from a piece of pie. You know, your body gets cleaner. That F student is gone. That B student, that A student is here, and it's time to move on. So look at it as an addiction, because it really is. If you see yourself getting, fake bread and fake milkshakes and fake this and fake that, well, why? You're addicted. Do people that have recovered from a drug addiction snort fake cocaine from now on? Do people inject fake heroin? Think about it. Why are you attached to these things? It's because you never really broke the addiction. And how do you break an addiction? Here's the good news. And in my doctor's video, I'm going to give you resources on that too. You do without it for a little while, and you go through with the withdrawals. There's no such thing as the keto flu. It's called massive carbohydrate withdrawal syndrome. You got to come to terms with that. Now, if to make life worth living, once you hit your goal weight, you put yourself on a maintenance plan that involves some things now and then that don't throw you off up to a certain level, and you know where those levels are, hey, you be you. This is not a, hey, we made it, let's party forever, guys, video. This is a, how do you get there and you're stuck video? How do you reset? So you got to think of all these things, okay? And then I'll end with this. Feed your brain good stuff. Feed your brain good stuff. You're doing the dishes, you're doing the shopping, you're cruising around. Most every car now, one way or the other, you can connect your phone to your speakers. Play an inspiring video of, one little thing from the keto space. Before and after success story. Some doctor's interview. What's next on this? What's next on that? Like keep feeding your brain this stuff. And get in a community. And that's something I'm going to be talking about in the coming videos. I want to start connecting with you guys more. I want to set up a space where we can do that. So anyway, more to come. Just wanted to get this out there. Hope this helped. Wow. So much cool stuff ahead. Thank you so much for being my subscriber. I'll never forget the first ones. I'll never forget the first people that wanted to know what I had to say. So thank you so much. Hit me up with anything you need. I'm easy to find on Instagram, Love and Bacon Brian. And, let's do this. All right. God bless.